Hello to all you parents out there. My name is Miss Alberry. I am a junior participant at Buffalo State College. I was in your child's class mostly during the month of March. I would typically go on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and stay for the duration of their math and ELA periods. Also, big hello to all you wonderful students. I hope you're all staying safe and I hope you're doing well. I have a reading for you today. I'm going to do a read aloud, and then I have a follow-up activity for you guys that I hope you enjoy. The book today that I have is called Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. I chose this book because I grew up on reading Dr. Seuss. All of his books are inspirational and always have a life lesson, always have something that you can take away from it. Also, I feel like the cover of the book is has deep meaning to it. I feel like the circles encapsulated in one another, leading up to the top, is just this boy's adventure through life and through to different places, and then he finally reaches his destination. So before we get into the reading, I want to go over just a few words that I wrote down. That we're going to come across in the book, just so to clarify any misunderstandings. That way you guys can understand it a lot better. The first word is stew. Stew as in don't worry, don't stew. That's just another way of saying don't worry or don't be anxious. Soar, SOAR, as in soar to high heights. That means rise up and be successful. Bang-ups and hang-ups. That's just explaining like hard and difficult times. Prickly perch. That is a made-up word actually by Dr. Seuss, and it just means struggles. The word lurch. That just explains or describes a difficult situation. And hither and yon. That is a distance between two things. And lastly, dexterous. Which means just having a skill, having some sort of skill. So now, let's get into the reading. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look 'em over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll go straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you will go. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers, you'll soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top the rest. Top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you can both sprain your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and three quarters, or maybe not quite, or go around, back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start in to race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace, and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, towards a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There's fun to be done, there are points to be scored, there are games to be won, and the magical thing you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the heckin' cracks howl. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up to your problems whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life is a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Buxom, Buxbum, or Bixby, or Bray, or Mordecai, Ali, Van Allen, O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. The end. So I want to have a little discussion with you guys after reading that book, just touching on a few quotes that that really stood out to me, and just give you guys a few things to kind of think about. So in the first quote here, Dr. Seuss says, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose." Here, Dr. Seuss is just telling us that we are in control of our life, that we can ultimately make our own decisions, and if we set our mind to something, that we should just make that choice for ourselves. In the next slide, I want you to think about a time where you had to make a decision about something. Did you make it all on your own, or did you let outside factors like family and friends play a role in making that decision? So I want to give you guys an example of a student that probably likes music and that wants to join a choir or a band. Instead of going and just signing up and joining that band or choir, maybe they allow others to persuade them otherwise. That's not taking control of your life. You know, if you have a passion for something, if you enjoy something, you need to go out and do that for yourself and find your happiness. Um, let's see. Okay. So the second quote is, wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. This is Dr. Seuss instilling a good confidence within us and telling us to just believe in ourselves and believe in our abilities. So I want you guys to think about a time when you doubted yourself because maybe you thought you weren't good enough. And did that hold you back from doing what you wanted to do? If we're going to use the example again of the student that enjoys music and wants to join choir or band, if they allow fear to take over and they start doubting their ability to do well in that skill, then they're holding themselves back completely, and they'll never get to see how much they can succeed. So, quote 3, that is just a continuation of the second quote that we just went over, where Dr. Seuss says that we'll be the best of the best and we'll top all the rest. Then he goes to say, except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. This was a very interesting part to me because, he highlights the fact that in life, there's this reality that sometimes we're hit with difficulties and obstacles, a lot of struggles that we may need to overcome, because and this was interesting to me also because in many books you come across, a happily ever after, but this is really just setting a reality for us, that we will come across these hard times, but it's okay, and we will get over them. Lastly, the waiting place. We don't ever want to end up in the waiting place. I know that many of us have probably been there. As Dr. Seuss was, Dr. Seuss was telling us in the book, let me find the page real quick. The waiting place. So he tells us prior to this that making decisions can sometimes get confusing, and you don't ever want to end up here where you're constantly just sitting around waiting for something to happen. You want to get up on your feet and you want to just dive right in and just make things happen. So now for the activity, this is my example. We're going to be doing a foldable. So on the front cover, you guys will be writing the title, "Oh, the places I'll go," that I will go instead of you'll go, as the book says, because I want this to be personal to you. It's going to be a foldable of 3 parts, okay? And I want to show you, if you haven't done this before, exactly how to fold it up. So it's kind of like a sandwich. I already folded this one prior, but what you're going to do is just kind of bring this part inwards and then fold it like this. Find where it aligns right here, and then you're just going to seal it, okay? And then there you have your foldable. In mine, I want you guys to write on the first part on the inside. First page, 3 goals that you want to accomplish, okay? And on the middle part, you're going to write fears that would keep you from accomplishing your goals, okay? In mine, I wrote it like this: fears that would keep me from accomplishing my goals, okay? That's how I want you guys to write it in yours as well. And then the last part, how I will overcome my fears and accomplish my goals. So I want to go over mine with you guys. I wrote my example right here. Also, I'm going to tell you guys I really want you to use lots of color if you can. Take advantage of your markers, colored pencils, all things like that. Make it a really fun activity for you. So my first goal is wanting to be a fabulous elementary school teacher. A fear of mine for accomplishing, or that may keep me from accomplishing that goal, is managing a large class, because I fear that it could be overwhelming. Um, in a way that I would overcome that fear and accomplish my goal is by having patience and establishing a good relationship with my students. That way we can all work together as a family and kind of make it a fun and positive place to be in the class. My second goal is eating better and making healthier choices. So this is a hard one. I don't know if you guys can see my little apple and my little carrot. I drew some pictures for you guys. I'm not the best at it, but if you would like to, you're more than welcome. Um, so, a fear that would keep me from accomplishing that goal, which I know is a struggle for many, many people, I just fear that I won't be able to do that because of my love for chocolate. I am a huge chocolate lover, and I can't keep away from it. So my fear is that I won't be able to make those positive choices because of that. But the way that I'm going to overcome that is by trying to be strong and filling my fridge with lots of favorite fruits that I can have instead of chocolate. Lastly, my third goal is painting nature pictures. I drew a little rose right there. And a fear I have that may stop me from accomplishing that goal is never being able to make it look realistic. And a way that I will overcome that fear is by continuous practice and watching many, many video tutorials. So, again, I want to stress the fact that the title should say, "Oh, the places I'll go." Draw yourself a nice picture, make it nice and colorful. And that's a wrap, guys. I hope that you guys really learned a lot. I really felt like this book sent a very positive message, and definitely filled us with many, many life lessons. I suggest that you go out and buy that book for yourselves and just put it on your bookshelf. Read it whenever you can. I know I'm going to keep this for a very, very long time. I hope that you guys continue to stay safe, wash your hands. It's a very crucial time right now with everything going on. So I wish you all well. Good luck.